everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Tonight is a different style of vlog that I'm going to do. I'm going to start it tonight and continue it into tomorrow because I have a surgery consultation in Scarborough to talk about my endometriosis surgery and what that's going to entail and all the things like that. So I'll keep you up to date of what happens in my consultation with my surgeon, what are the things that we talk about, some of the questions that I have to get prepared. But I thought that I would walk through a little bit of how I'm preparing mentally and physically for the appointment tomorrow. If I'm honest, I am a little bit nervous because I don't know what to expect. I've never met the surgeon before in person. We've only had a phone chat. We've talked about my past results and my OBGYN's recommendation that I go into endometriosis surgery based on ultrasound results and pelvic pain during physical examinations and history of pain. It is a very interesting process to go through. I've heard good things about surgery. I just am mentally preparing for the risks associated with surgery because I'm not going into this blindly thinking that my pain is going to be cured after this. I do understand that endometriosis can grow back after surgery and that it's not just a one and done thing. So I am mentally preparing for that. But tonight I'm just in comfies. I have like my sleep shirt and my comfy PJs on. And I've packed my journal to come with me for my appointment. So that has all of my symptoms, all of the timings and dates of important milestones. So when I had my first flare-up of pain, like years and years and years ago, all of the tests that I've had done, so ultrasounds, blood work, all of that. It has just a lot of things, and I can just easily refer back to it if I have a question or they have a question for me. I can just quickly go to the date or time that I need to and provide that information during my consultation. I also have my insurance card. I won't really show you all the information here, just like a Manulife card. If you have insurance provided by your employer or private insurance, it is good to have on you with a surgery consultation. This is something that they've said that they've wanted me to bring so that we can talk about what is covered and what potentially isn't with Ontario Health Insurance Plan, as well as my private insurance through my employer. So I've packed that. I've packed my health card. I also have a clean mask waiting for me at the door so that I am prepared and fresh for when I make my first appearance at their office. I have a full tank of gas because my appointment is at 9:45 in the morning and I don't want to be rushing ahead of time to do logistics of things that I don't want to think about in the morning because my head's going to be somewhere else completely. So there's a full tank of gas. And I've told someone where I'm going so that if they have any questions or concerns of like, where am I at work? I've told my employer that I have the surgery consultation, that I will be away for just the morning. So that's important to know too. If you're still employed or going to school, it's important to tell someone ahead of time where you're going to be for surgery consultations. Yeah, so that's just a bit of how my night's going. I'm taking it a little bit easy because again, I am a little bit anxious and nervous. I don't know really what to expect. I don't know how I'm going to relate or like interact with this new surgeon. I've never met them, so again, I'm nervous, and they sound nice. So that's a plus, but it's always just a little bit nerve-wracking meeting someone new, especially in your health journey when you've met so many people ahead of this and you're like, I know that they're going to get the pain because this is what they do daily and they address endometriosis pain, but it's still in the back of your mind a bit of that medical gaslighting that you've experienced in the past, and you just don't want to be dismissed for the pain that you're experiencing. I know I won't be, but it's just like a mental block that I'm having. I'm probably going to go to bed early just so I can be well rested and, feel more comfortable going into my appointment tomorrow morning. And again, I have some questions laid out in my journal. So I've listed some questions in another video that I'll link in the comment box or in the bio of this video that you can refer to if you're interested. It's just a list of questions that you should be asking before surgery that I've done a little bit of research on in my own journey of what I would want to know about my own body and my own healthcare. So if you find that interesting, I'll link that down below. So I have those questions prepared and written down with me, and yeah, I'll take you along tomorrow morning. I'll let you know how I'm feeling before and after, and I'll catch you up with what we talk about and what is discussed and the next steps for my surgery. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. October 26th today. So October 27th is my first endo surgery consultation. Nerve-wracking, but we're here. We've made it. This is the journey. We're in it together. It's exciting and nerve-wracking all at the same time. Today is the day of my surgery consultation in Scarborough. It's 9 o'clock right now, so I have a bit of time to get there. It's a nice blue day, but it's a cold fall day, which is I like. It's kind of nice, but truth be told, I haven't really thought much about the appointment today. I think I'm going through the motions of getting ready, packing up my bag, having my health card, my insurance, everything, and then just running out the door. So it's been kind of nice to not worry about it today. I don't really know. I know what to expect, but then there's aspects that I don't. So I'm just kind of going with the flow today. I'm not letting my brain wander about the what ifs of this appointment. I'm coming at it as this is my body and I'm the one making the final decision. I don't need to be pressured to make a decision. If I'm not comfortable or if I want time to think more about it after today, I'm gonna take that time and not rush myself. So that's kind of where I'm at today. So I'll keep you posted on how it goes after, and yeah, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. I'm in a good headspace, so I feel pretty good. But I will talk to you after the appointment. Okay, we're back. And was that overwhelming? Yeah, it was a very overwhelming appointment. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. It was pretty overwhelming and pretty nerve-wracking, to be honest. I felt like I went into the appointment thinking I'm not sure what the process is gonna look like, but I'm gonna go with the flow, and I'm gonna let my emotions just kind of settle and just go with emotions of what this day is going to look like. My appointment was at 9:45 and I got home around 11. So it was a very long and extensive consultation. The place in general was very clean and tidy. People were very helpful. There was a lot of other individuals waiting for their consultations, so I wasn't the only one in the waiting room. The process is pretty easy. So during COVID, you're not allowed to bring someone else with you. It's just the patient that has the ability to be inside the building. So number one, that was a bit nerve-wracking because I know that when I am given a lot of information, I can get a little bit overwhelmed in my head, and I get nervous for not thinking of all of the information or having the information. So it's always nice to have someone else join me for an appointment, but for this round I couldn't because of COVID, and I totally get it. It's just it was a bit overwhelming. That was the first little bit of anxiety that I felt at the beginning of the appointment prior to even going into the appointment room. I had to fill out a COVID form, answered all those questions, and then was brought back to the examination room to be chatted with the surgeon. The surgeon came in and was wonderful, like very, very calm, very soothing, very gentle, like made me feel very safe and comfortable, and she was just wonderful. She started off by stating her name and said, you know, it's really nice to meet you in person, because we've only had that phone consultation and phone chat. So it was nice to see her in person. So she gave me 2 forms to look over. One was an anesthetic form. For the anesthesiologist who's going to be a part of the surgery team for me, they have to know whether I'm prone to blood clotting or have chronic pain, wear contact lenses, have general allergies to anesthetics in the past, general allergies to other things that aren't going to be in surgery, but they should be aware of, like latex and things like that. It was just a general form for the anesthesiologist to know more about my health, and I filled that form out. So I do wear contact lenses, so I said yes, and I have weirdly woken up during a surgery for wisdom teeth. The anesthesiologist had to provide more anesthetics because I did wake up halfway through. And I don't know if I've heard this around, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I think natural redheads, they need more anesthetics. I've heard down the grapevine. So I don't know if this is true or not, but I just stated, you know, have woken up during wisdom teeth surgery. And I brought that up to my surgeon today, and she said, you know, that's something to bring up with the anesthesiologist the day of the surgery, because I will be having a consultation with them that day. So not ahead of time, it will be the day of the surgery that I talk to the anesthesiologist. So that was one form. And then I was given another general admissions form. So that general admissions form was given to me to provide personal information, my next of kin, my family doctor, anything like that, as well as any insurance that could provide. It wasn't insurance coverage, but it was more questions along the lines of, will you have insurance to cover a private or a public room, or things like that. And I said, no, put me in a public room. I'm not putting money towards a private room, so thank you. So that was the two forms that I was given at the beginning of the consultation. The next thing we had was a one-on-one discussion. So as she was filling out her own form, she outlined that it would be an endometriosis laparoscopic surgery, and that her approach is gentle, which this is why I've opted for this surgeon for my personal health care and my endo journey. So surgery comes with a whole lineup of risks. Associated with my laparoscopic surgery, there is risk of infection, there is risk of blood clotting, specifically because I am currently on birth control, so that raises the risk of blood clotting, and surgery in general raises the risk of blood clotting. There are risks associated with, again, that endometriosis pain lingering, as well as damage to organs. So because endometriosis is extensive and it is a full body disease, she has outlined that endometriosis lesions can be found on organs and can attach them together with adhesions and lesions, and they can attach themselves to the pelvic wall. So she has outlined that there might be damage to organs based on my endometriosis, the extent of my tissue and the endometriosis that's present. She outlined a lot of other risks that you know, are general risks for surgery, you know, again, like reactions to anesthetics and things like that. So we talked very openly about the risks, and so after that, she had them listed on a form, and she was going through them with me in person. And in that consultation, I signed that I understand the risks associated with this surgery. And below that was a question on blood transfusions. So she outlined that with surgery, she said, I don't anticipate this happening, but again, we want to make sure that we're being safe and precautionary. So if I am heavily bleeding during surgery, I have opted to, you know, provide consent for a blood transfusion to take place. So that was just a general statement that was on the bottom of the risks associated with the surgery and the type of surgery that's happening. Then, so it was a lot. It seems like, okay, they're just checklists and they're going through the basic bibs and bobs, but it's a lot to take in. It's a lot because you're trying to absorb general information, but then you kind of realize that, oh, this is happening to my body. It's my body. I'm not just listening to a lecture on risks of surgery. It's like, these are the risks to you and your surgery that's happening in the new year. So it was a bit daunting, and I think I kind of blanked out halfway through because I'm like, okay, like this is a lot. It's a lot of information to take in. So anyways, I filled out the anesthetic form and I filled out the general admissions form. We went through the risks and as well as the blood transfusion signing off. And then she outlined that she wanted to do a pelvic exam right then and there, which I wasn't prepared for. So if you're not prepared for this, it might happen in your surgery consultation for endometriosis that they might want to do another internal pelvic exam. No, I again wasn't prepared for that. I didn't ask enough questions ahead of this appointment for around that. I had done an ultrasound prior to this as well as an internal pelvic exam with the other specialist that I'm seeing, but I didn't think it would happen again with this new doctor. It's just something that I just wasn't prepared for. So she left the room, I got changed, and she came back in and just did an internal pelvic exam. So for me, those are very painful. And again, I want to make sure that I'm mentally prepared for a pelvic exam. So jumping right into it today, I was like, oh gosh, it's going to cause a lot of cramping and discomfort for me after. So she She checked around what basically was the movement of my uterus. So was it mobile, I guess. Not really sure what we're checking for there, but I think it was more related to scar tissue developing with endometriosis lesions in tissue. She said I was tighter on my right side, and I have heard that before in the past from my pelvic floor therapist. I hold a lot of tension on the right side, and she said that, you know, that could be caused by scar tissue, caused by endometriosis. And I have a lot of tenderness at the very back. So when they like really go in, it's very painful for me when they hit the back wall. She assumes that there is a lot of tissue that is lining the outside of my, my uterus. So I've heard that before about my endometriosis tissue of it potentially being there. So she said, you know, that is something that she's going to look at during surgery. She said it is very common for endometriosis to be found around your bowels because it is in that localized region as well as in your pelvic region. But she did state that it is a full body disease. So I'm happy that she has outlined that to me. And she outlined too that surgery is not a be all and end all. Like it can grow back, but it can help with pain management. So again, she made sure that I knew that it wasn't like I'm not going to be cured after this. And I knew that as well going in. So that was good that she reiterated that. After the pelvic exam, she gave me this admissions instructions to patients. So same day surgery. So it's just a packet. I haven't gone through it because today I'm just kind of like, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So if you've had a surgery consultation and you're kind of going through the motions and you feel like you have to have everything known and read the same day, no, like give yourself time to breathe and to absorb information and the process and the experience, because it can be very anxiety inducing, especially if you've seen medical gaslighting in your past, in your endometriosis journey, which is basically like doctors not believing your pain or your story. This doctor was not that doctor. They were not medical gaslighting at all, but I carry a lot of anxiety around being dismissed for my pain. So going into an appointment with a doctor, that anxiety layer is already there. And then having to go through all of this information on top of a painful internal exam. This pamphlet can wait, and I can go through it on another video of what's included in this as a part 2. If that's someone is interested in that, just comment down below and I can definitely do that. Because I want you to have all the information and to be prepared, because I wish someone, you know, went through this before I had to go through it. So yeah, it's a lot of information. So she basically gave me an admission instructions to patient same day surgery booklet to look over, which I will. She's booked up, so my surgery, I don't have a date yet, which kind of gives me leeway to think more about it and the process and, you know, how comfortable I truly feel. Yes, I've gone through paperwork and stuff, but it doesn't necessarily lock me in to surgery. So I can see how I'm feeling in a couple of months. But I'm opting right now. I'm feeling very comfortable with the decision. I'm nervous and excited and overwhelmed and tired. I'm tired. Today was a big advocacy moment. It was a big advocacy day. It was a day where I felt, I don't know if vindicated is the word. Like you're like, yes, my pain is believed. Like again, like I'm on the right track. We're making progress, but it's also a heavy day because you're talking about surgery for something that you didn't cause to your body. You didn't do this to yourself. And I don't want you to beat yourself up if you think that you caused endometriosis, or like, I want you to separate yourself from the disease, because you're more than the disease. You are, and I am. Like, it doesn't define you, and it doesn't have to if you don't want it to. You have so much more that you bring to the table. And so if you're in a surgery consultation, I want you to know that yes, you're dealing with something that is inside your body, but you didn't cause this. You didn't do this to yourself. And I don't want you to beat yourself up for thinking that. I just feel like it's something that I want to make sure that you know. Just don't beat yourself up for something like this, because it's something that's out of our control. So it's just a heavy day to process a lot of information. It's a big day. So if you're doing your surgery consults, I'm proud of you. If you're going into it soon, or if you have it scheduled, or you're thinking about it, I'm just proud of you and how far you've come in your journey, because it is a big day. It is a big day, a big, exhausting, exciting, anxious inducing day. But anyways, after my internal, she gave me that package, and then I had to fill out more paperwork, so I went back to the waiting room and I filled out like a general form about who my family doctor was, who my next of kin was, so my father is that, all of these different, you know, general forms. And then we did blood pressure, so you know that cuff and it like expands and then it tells you your blood pressure. We did that. They took my height and my weight, and that will be redone the couple of days leading to surgery. The next steps, so they have outlined that they will contact me a couple of weeks prior to my surgery date to do blood work. They also want to do a discussion around, again, the risks associated and anesthetic questions again. I'm sure they're going to do a bunch of other questions and tests, and I can document that as well. But yeah, surgery consult day was more heavy than I thought it would be, and that's okay. That's okay. It's just so you're prepared and you know it's gonna be probably a heavy day, so be easy on yourself. I would recommend taking the day off. I'm gonna take the rest of the day. I'm gonna put this somewhere that I know I can look at it sometime. This is the note that they gave me as well, so they're gonna call me about my next appointment, and it's just like instructions on what to do the day before surgery, the day of, and then the blood work that's required. So I'm just gonna need a full blood count done. So I hope this video helped in some way. I know it was kind of a lot of information there at the end, but I hope you find it helpful in your journey with endometriosis or adenomyosis or PCOS. This is specific to endometriosis, but I do hope it helps in some way to kind of prepare you for a surgery consultation. Again, be easy on yourself and just know that you're not alone. Today, I really was reminding myself of that I'm not alone and that others have gone through this process before me. And I'm really proud of myself too. I'm proud of you and I'm proud of myself because it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey. And today was a day where it's like a new chapter. It's like, okay, it's gonna be a new M after this monumental decision. It's gonna be, you know, surgery is a major decision. And so I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited to bring you along the journey with me. And I'm so thankful that you're here with me on this journey. I would be really isolated and feeling alone if you weren't sharing your stories and your experiences with me. It makes me feel less alone and less isolated. So thank you for doing that and for being there with me. And I will talk to you on the next one. Hopefully I'm more like with it, you know, I'm more with it. But I will talk to you on the next one. And again, I appreciate you all so much. And please like and subscribe if you like it. But yeah, I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I hope it's flare free.